Welcome to the Top Gun Show. Today we have a very special guest. Mr. Adante Painter is an Oakland, California-based attorney who has represented clients in civil and criminal litigation in courts throughout the state of California since 1905. He's a senior partner of Pointer and Welna, Lawyers for the People. He's a Bay Area native and completed his undergraduate education at the University of California in Berkeley, my hometown, and earned his law degree from University of California Hastings College of Law. Adante is not a stranger to high-profile and high-stakes police abuse cases. For example, in 2009, 22-year-old Oscar Grant was shot and killed by a BART police officer as he lay unarmed on his stomach. The shooting was captured on video and made national and international headlines for the shocking nature of the incident. After litigating the matter for several years, Adante managed to secure Mr. Grant's mother and daughter a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Adante, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I've made it, Ma. I'm on Top Gun.
Yeah, well, I'm nervous, man. I don't have this caliber of guests, man. I have telecom people most of the time. Okay, on a serious note, the unjust killing of George Floyd, it seemed to ignite our country, actually internationally, in ways that we've never seen. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's a confluence of factors. Number one, if you watch the video, it's just heartbreaking. It's disturbing. It's the type of thing that immediately provokes a response. And so, to watch that from beginning to end, sometimes when you hear about cases, you're just not sure what happened. This, no question. And I think it just tugs at the heartstrings. And that's what got the response we have. On top of the fact, COVID. People have been locked up for a lot of days. Nothing to do but look at these videos, if you will.
That's true. That's a great point. And, I'm an old guy. I've seen stuff like this from Rodney King and numerous incidents, Oscar Grant and some other ones. But this has really ignited people. Like maybe, the COVID, we're ready to get serious. We want something to get behind. But do you think we're at a turning point in our country regarding racism?
I hope so. I think that this is a turning point and can be not just a moment, but a movement in the sense that we as a country can have the honest conversations that we need to have in order to recover from what has been a long history of racial issues that this country just simply hasn't addressed. And I hope that we're in a position now that we all can actually lean in and come together and collectively find the answers to this issue that's plagued our country from its beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Well put. It's frustrating though. I mean, it's inspired a lot of healthy conversation for sure. But what can we do? What can I do? I mean, donate money? Do I protest? Do I, do what was it last week on Instagram, the Tuesday blackout squares? I mean, what those seem futile to me, but give me some advice. What can I do to really make a difference?
The easy answer is all of the above, because frankly, it's going to take a multi-part approach in order to deal with the issue and a sickness, just like this virus, that is multifaceted and constantly changing and shifting. So, supporting on a local level, wherever, your listeners and viewers are at, there's stuff they can do on a local level. Simply social media stuff, amplifying the message, putting this out there, starting the conversations, be willing to engage in the conversations, and vocalizing and showing support for justice is certainly important. Anyone can do that, whether it's on social media, whether it's at your watering hole, whether it's at the water cooler, definitely could do that. The other things is there's stuff that's just like the district attorneys, supporting people, judges, district attorneys, police chiefs, and mayors that are on the right side of history. And at the same time, for those who are not making the right decision in terms of standing with people for justice, then we need to vote them out of office. So voting is important. Supporting legislation is important. Supporting your friends, your colleagues, people that you know who are going through things. Being a listening ear, not being so dismissive, and really just being a good human is where it starts.
If I had a mic, I would drop it right now because that's true. You've said it so perfectly. Being a good human is really what matters here. That's the movement that needs to occur, right? So
Absolutely.
well said, well said. I'm going to kind of surprise you here at the end. You know, I always ask something kind of personal, but not too personal, because we want to get to know you a little bit too. So why don't you tell the viewers a little known fact about yourself?
Well, how about I do two?
Okay.
one, one that no one would guess. So, and I don't know why this came to mind, but I used to be an avid skateboarder. And when I say avid, like I got into the competitions, I rode the ramps, did the jumps, and I have two broken arms to prove it. So that's something that most people wouldn't guess when they see me walking down the street or going into a building in a suit. That I used to be a skateboarder that was a little ragtag skating around San Francisco.
Wow.
Yeah. This
What,
the
what's
second
another one?
the second one, more in line with our conversation today, is even as an attorney, I myself found myself stopped by the police department and had guns, pointed at me and drawn and forced to get out of the car and crawled on the and made to crawl on the ground and really humiliated, even though I do the type of work that and represent people who went through that scenario. So I say that all to say, just for your viewers and for anyone who may be listening, that this type of conduct that we see on play out on the videos is not just limited to a one-off type of situation. And just because I may be in a suit and I have social credentials and I know people and have connections, that didn't mean that I was excluded from being treated in a very inhumane way. So, I just say I throw that out there because a lot of times when we look at stuff on TV, it's a them. This is happening to them, or this is happening to those people. No, it's a we people. It's happening to us. It happened to me, and so that's a fact. And I wind up suing the police department. So that's a little known fact that people wouldn't guess. And I'm actually not only am I a person who represents people who goes through these things, but I myself just recently went through that, and that was just 3 years ago.
Wow. That is an amazing story. I mean, you must have been like, do you know who you're messing with? I mean,
I
oh,
once the guns were put away, that's certainly how I felt. When the guns were out, I was just trying to survive the situation.
yeah. Well, Adante, thank you so much for being so transparent, and what great content, what great advice you gave. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
No problem. We're always looking for allies. Thank you.
You
Appreciate the
bet.
opportunity.
And thanks for watching, everyone.
Take care.